Beyonce became the queen.
All right, so now I'm gonna give my little tidbit on this Aaliyah and Beyonce battle that's been going on for years, y'all. Years since Aaliyah passed and Beyonce made it big. Today is Saturday. It's about 2:41 p.m. and it's Saturday, September 28th. It's Libra season, so which has nothing to do with what I'm about to talk about. But let's get to this Aaliyah versus Beyonce beef squabble, and I'm gonna just squash it finally and for good, hopefully for my own perception and interpretation of what's been going on. So first and foremost, before I get started, was and still am a big Aaliyah fan because that's how she pronounced her name, Aaliyah. I'm talking about baby girl, better known as Aaliyah. Give me goosebumps and high fevers. Don't you know? Gotta tell somebody, cause I really need somebody. Tell me that somebody would. Okay, I'm gonna keep. I can sing Aaliyah all day. I already said in my previous videos, I used to dress up like her for Halloween when I was skinnier, with the long hair, bandana, sunglasses, tight shirt, loose jeans, baggy jeans, Timberland, maybe not no Timbs, but some gym shoes. I just was adored her. She was just so beautiful and so pretty to me. Now let's get into it. Aaliyah's from the Midwest, if I believe. I think Detroit or whatever. Maybe California. I'm not sure, but I know for a while she was living in Detroit. And when she came to, she did meet R. Kelly, and he was supposed to help her with her first album, which he did with her first album, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. Aaliyah had this good girl, innocent, squeaky clean girl image for years. That was her image. She released not one in a million. Age Ain't Nothing But a Number when she was 15, and R. Kelly did direct that album, produce that album. I mean. But they met years ago. She was like underage, under teenage age when she really first met. I think she was like 12 or something. Because if you think about this music, the song Vibe, she's got that vibe. But Kelly was still with public announcement. He said, even sweet Aaliyah's got it. She's got that vibe. Like he talked about Aaliyah back then. Which unfortunately that we know how, but everybody from Chicagoland area know how Kels get down. He likes the youngins, and Aaliyah was no different. But I will say this. Now that I've heard they were legally married, and when they did the album, and her parents found out and made the marriage be annulled. But call me what you want. I'm not trying to be the devil's advocate. Aaliyah kind of came on to him. He just looked at her as cute, sweet Aaliyah, even cute Aaliyah. He didn't really look at her like that because she wasn't really fully developed into her womanhood yet. She liked him, and you could just tell in the interview she kind of had a crush on him because he was her producer, and then he. Of course, being a man, she's pretty, she's cute, even cute. He's not going to turn it down eventually over time. And was he wrong for marrying her at 15 and he was, 28? Yes. But does it happen all the time with older men, younger artists? Yes. I mean, Elvis Presley was grown when he met Priscilla. I think Priscilla was like 13, 15. I'm not sure, in Germany. So unfortunately in the entertainment industry, older men, young women happen all the time. But let me stop talking about the R. Kelly Aaliyah thing. So Aaliyah she had a lot of talent, especially when she did One in a Million in her last album, self-titled album, Aaliyah. She was in a league of her own. She was more solo R&B. She just was Aaliyah. She was a solo artist. Like I said, she danced in her videos. Timbaland and Misty produced a lot of her hits. She kind of had a sultry, soulful kind of R&B sound. Beautiful girl. Now let's talk about Beyonce. I am a part of the Beehive as well. Beehive stand up, woo woo. I've been a Destiny Child Beyonce fan since Destiny Child first debut with the album. No, 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 no. You be singing. They went from a dream to the Young Supreme. Sing it. I've been a Destiny Child fan since day one. And in fact, Beyonce didn't really strike my attention at first. I was a big Latoya fan because, no offense to the light-skinned women, I had a little because like Beyonce's yellow. And at first, I didn't even know how to pronounce her name. I'm like, how do you pronounce? What does this say? Beyonce? What? Like most people, I didn't know how to even pronounce her name. It was like, oh, that's Beyonce. I'm like, oh, okay. I was in the 5th grade when No 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 premiered. And then in 7th grade, when they came back out with Destiny Child Writings on the Wall, it was like a time. I'm talking about Destiny Child fans stand up. When they released Writings on the Wall, it was just, like I said in my other video, it was a time to be alive because they were a young girl group from Texas, and they were teenagers, older teenagers, young teenagers, but not too old. And they sang about stuff that young girls go through. They were curvy women. Leah was skinny up and down. No offense. I mean, just saying, differences in their shapes and their sizes. Beyonce says on many interviews that a lot of clothing people wouldn't take them, sign them because they were curvy. And back in the 90s, they wanted artists to be more skinny, like up and down, like TLC was skinny. Destiny Child had some curves on them. So That's what Tina came in, and her Uncle Johnny, that Beyonce always talks about, designed a lot of their albums and their outfits. But Beyonce and Aaliyah, they were two beautiful. They are. Aaliyah was, and Beyonce still is. They're two beautiful singers in their own right, in their own way. Beyonce was curvy. She's a country girl from Texas, a little sweet, down to earth, humble, with a little sassy attitude. Whereas Aaliyah was more sweet and nice. She had an attitude too, but it didn't really come out like Beyonce's. So that makes a little difference. Being from the South, being raised in the South, having traditional Southern old school values, whereas Aaliyah was more urban. It's just apples and oranges. But there's nothing wrong with that. It's apples and oranges. Both of them were equally talented. Now, I do not think Aaliyah was jealous of Beyonce, and I do not think Beyonce was jealous of Aaliyah. I think, if anything, if at all, they were jealous of each other, because so many people put them against each other. Like, Aaliyah, you're not like whatever. So I think, if anything, they probably envied each other. The last interview at the VMAs, they were together when Aaliyah had on that long black dress and Beyonce had on that golden little dress, whatever, and they talked about D'Angelo and how handsome he was at the VMAs the year Aaliyah died, about a month before she passed, or whatever. So it's like they respected each other. They had love for one another, but it was never a competition between either one of them. At least I don't think so. As a woman, and then looking back on interviews and being a fan since day one, I do not think it was a competition between both of them. I think people pawned them against each other. Now, as far as this sacrifice from Diddy and Jay-Z or whoever's behind all of this conspiracy theory stuff, now don't get me wrong, I do believe in Illuminati. I do believe that people are sacrificed. I do agree with that. However, I do not think Aaliyah and Beyonce had any idea what was going on above them. I think that's above them. I think that's above their knowledge, their rank in the industry. I think people did sacrifice. If Aaliyah was sacrificed, which I kind of think she was, I don't think Aaliyah had anything to do with it. I don't think Dame Dash had anything to do with it. I think it was bigger than him. I think Jay-Z and whoever's up above had everything to do with that. Jay-Z and Diddy, because if anything, Jay-Z and Diddy knew what they were doing because they were older. You have to understand, Aaliyah was 22 when she passed. At the time, Beyonce was only 19. They were young. They still were young. They weren't that mature to understand how the industry really works and how cutthroat and ruthless it could be. They didn't know. They did not know. Beyonce was touring with Destiny's Child. She was having fun. It was a vibe. She talked about how she wanted to go to college. She wanted to go to a HBCU. I'm gonna rep HBCU. She talked about how she wanted to go to HBCU in her Coachella album, and how she didn't go to college, but Destiny's Child was her college. Like, Destiny's Child, they were just simply having fun when it was all four of them with the original four members. Then it was DC4 again with Farrah. I don't know what was wrong with her. She tweaked. Like, I would never tweak on Destiny's Child, but that's her. And then it was DC3 with Michelle Kelly and Beyonce. So they were having fun. You could see in their videos, even making the videos when they on TRL and MTV back in the day, when they was making the videos, and they would talk about how they were just simply having a good time, simply having fun. Aaliyah was a beautiful singer. Rest in peace, rest peacefully. I'm always read me some Aaliyah, baby girl Aaliyah. She was beautiful. She was in her own lane. Now, if Aaliyah never died, I don't think it would have been a Beyonce Aaliyah. I think it just would have been Aaliyah's more solo. She would have did more things like, I can't really explain. It's kind of hard to explain. Whereas Beyonce is a performer. She's an entertainer. She's like our Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying? So she's a female Michael Jackson. Like how the old heads got excited when Michael Jackson was solo after he left the Jackson 5. That's how us women that were big Destiny's Child fans felt when Beyonce left Destiny's Child and went solo. Same concept to me, at least. And Beyonce's so big. Aaliyah would have been like, I can't even compare her to who she would have been compared to. Maybe not even Whitney Houston, because Whitney Houston had some issues. So she wouldn't have been a Whitney. She would have been an Aaliyah. Just another Aaliyah. I don't really understand why everybody keeps comparing them. And saying Aaliyah would have been the best. Beyonce would have been number 2. And then we have like Beyonce. Aaliyah had nothing on Beyonce. It goes back and forth. Each Aaliyah fan, each Beyonce fan. Why can't we just all accomplish both? Acknowledge that both of them were accomplished and are accomplished, and both of them are good singers. They in their own right. Aaliyah was more R&B. Beyonce's more eclectic. She does country. She does pop. She does R&B as well. She does a little hip hop, and she mixed it up a little bit, everything. She's more broader. Aaliyah was more narrow with the R&B lane. She probably would have evolved eventually. But like I'm telling you, Aaliyah was more strictly R&B for the R&B lane, which is nothing wrong with that. I like both of them. I'm a broad interest in music. I like a little bit of everything as well. That's why I'm a big Beyonce fan now. But if Aaliyah was still alive, I would have been rapping my girl too. It's just like, it is what it is. Drop the beef. They were both beautiful. Are beautiful black women in the industry. Give them both their flowers. Give Aaliyah her flowers. Give Beyonce her flowers, and stop the comparison. It's lame. It's giving. Grow up. Thank you.